So let's still working on getting the hubs prepped for a disc brake swap. Old Datsun, my wife's. Anyway, I'm going to do a bearing pack demonstration here, basically. Now this is, I don't remember what the part name is, anything like that, but this is a hand bearing packer. This cup here is just a dust seal to keep everything clean. Okay, this is the plunger, and it will screw down there. Okay, so when to load this thing, okay, now hopefully the camera will keep up with the focusing somewhat. I'm not too pleased with the focusing, and I just haven't gone out and bought a new camera yet. So what happens here is, see down inside there, okay, I could clean that out some more, but there's some holes down there at the bottom of that cone, okay, and I don't know if it'll show up very well on the video, but this white surface in here is coned, okay, goes down at an angle. Now those holes, when the cone goes down, the grease pushes up through those holes, okay. When you load the bearing, you want to load it in down like this, okay. Reason is that this outer edge will seal to the inside slope of that cone, and that leaves this part, there's a gap there, so then the grease will push up inside here, okay. If you put it in like this, the slope of the cone may or may not seal on one of these edges here, and it won't leave any gap here for the grease to push up in. So I've always done it this way. Doesn't even have to be perfectly centered, just has to be kind of close. Basically what's in there is this stuff: high temp disc and drum brake wheel bearing grease. Okay, now the threaded part, you only screw that in when you need to pull the plunger out, okay? So the rest of the time that plunger is never going to screw down on there. So all we need to do, and let's see if maybe, hopefully that'll focus, but even out of focus I think you can see. So I just give it a little bit of a rotation or a rock here as I push it down, so that hydraulically I'm not trying to push on the entire surface area of the grease at one time. I'm basically alternating and pushing it harder as it goes around. Now I am definitely putting a bit of force on it. It feels a little harder because I'm standing behind the camera reaching around it. Okay, so you can see what it's doing. It's pushing the grease up through there. Okay, once we get some more in there, and an extra won't matter. What we're going to do is take that extra and smear it around anyway. Okay, so let's see if we can zoom back out here. Whew. Yeah, fat and nearly 50, man. That's a winning combination. Okay, so bearing comes out of here. It's nice and messy, but you can see how all the grease squeezed up through the things here. So I don't need grease in the inside there where the spindle is, but I do want to make sure that grease stays packed in this outer edge. I also want to move some of that grease around the outside here and try to squeeze it in some of these other holes. Now you can also grab the inner and move it around and try to get some of those rollers to roll. As long as we know we've got it squeezed up between the rollers, the rest of this is just try to pack a little extra in the outside grooves there and get it nice and greasy. Okay. When it's inside the hub, I will clean up this inner spot a little bit more here. Okay. But I just want to work in whatever extra grease I can in these around these. So even to the extent of I don't need to clean it off. I mean, it can keep nice big globs of grease on it there as far as I'm concerned. So we'll call that good for now. I'm going to set that aside, and we're going to pack the other one by hand. And of course, as unprepared as usual, I didn't open up the other bearing package. So, all right, just poke our finger through there, take that out. This is new newspaper, so it's fairly clean. I feel fine with setting that down there. All right, just grab another rag. Clean the hands off a bit more here while you stare at a boring picture of a bearing. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to do the same thing that the press did. We're going to do it manually, and we're basically going to do it for free. I always wear gloves. I'm not a fan of grease at all. Okay, so I'm just going to put a nice sized dollop in my hand here. And there's plenty of other videos out there on YouTube. Do a little searching for bearing packing. You'll find all kinds of others. I'm not doing it to add or change anything to what they say. I'm doing it simply because it coincides with my whole project. So it's just one more step of that. So instead of, wow, that wasn't good. Oh, and it really wasn't good because it fell in all the metal shavings. Gee, do I just stop the video and start over like nothing happened? Anyway, it fell on the floor and all the metal shavings from the mill. Nice. Don't have to be too bright to be me. So, let me make sure my gloves are clean. When you're working with the bearings, you definitely want to make sure you keep everything nice and clean. You get any, you got hardened surfaces here pressing against each other with a ton of weight, and you really want to, you don't want any of that garbage or crap in there because it'll stop the roller bearing, smoke a bearing pretty quickly. So anyway, let's take the dollop. Now, instead of trying to push it in from this side like the press did, okay, we're going to put it in from this side because this side has got a nice big open lip here. I think it'll work from the other side, but I've always done it this way. So what you're going to do is you're just going to scrape a little off and keep pushing it into your palm with this kind of action. Okay. See how that's starting to squeeze up in there? I'll just rotate it a little bit and do some more there. Rotate it a little bit more. Okay. Basically, the flex in your hand, you're pushing it up in there. I don't know that it would really work to push it on a hard surface. Your hand gives up into that recess and lets it push up in there. And you know, that press is awesome. I love that thing. It's nice and fast and does a great job, and I usually don't have to get too greasy. But as you can see, this will do every bit as good a job for free. Okay, so see that? It just, you can just keep doing that. So I've got this one packed. Okay, now just smear the grease around.